Hello, fellow human beings. I'm Reverend Enrich, a humanist minister and the founder of the Humanist Holistic Church. This week, criticism, right or wrong, or depends. Criticism can be given or received. When received, criticism can be hard. It can be helpful or painful and humiliating. It can be soul-crushing. Even though it can be motivating, it is often discouraging. When dished out, criticism can be satisfying. It can give the critic an ego boost. To make things more complicated, criticism is necessary. No one and nothing gets better without some criticism along the way. Think of a student, an athlete, or a product prototype. So criticism is a necessary evil. Do you know the saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder? It basically means that beauty is subjective. The experience and interpretation of beauty vary. It varies from person to person. It changes over time. In some respects, criticism is like that. When you are being criticized or criticizing, ask yourself whether the criticism is called for, what its purpose at this specific time. When being critical, make sure what's criticized: your work, actions, or you personally. Your work may need to be improved. Your actions may not have been well thought out. But when the criticism targets you personally, reject and discard it straight out. Our actions and work are subject to critique. No mistake or shortfalling defines the whole of a person. When criticizing, ask yourself, what's the purpose and target of your criticism? Are you criticizing to effect change? Or are you criticizing to damage someone's reputation or stop the person from aspiring? Rethink your motives. We all know how damaging criticism can be. Are you seeking to inspire and motivate or to destroy? If the latter is the case, why not keep your opinion to yourself? Frank A. Clark said, criticism, like rain, should be gentle enough to nourish a man's growth without destroying his roots. Subject-specific, constructive criticism can be immensely helpful and can be interpreted as supportive. Unfortunately, not all criticism is subject-specific or constructive. Some criticism is vicious and doesn't seem to serve any purpose other than aggrandizing the critic himself or herself. Emmett Fox said, criticism is an indirect form of self-boasting. Here comes a necessary pause. Be self-confident yet humble enough to consider the merit of the criticism you received. There is an additional bit of wisdom I'd like to throw into the mix. When I was a little kid, my father told me a story about a bird freezing to death. In his critical final moments, a horse accidentally defecated on him, warming him up and saving his life. As the bird was regaining consciousness, a fox came by and offered to pull him out of excrement. The bird gladly accepted and was eaten by the fox. The moral of the story has some bearing on the subject of criticism. Often, those who care about us seek to protect us from the truth, to spare our feelings or honor our efforts. On occasion, someone we perceive as the enemy might tell us the very truth we need to hear. Norman Vincent Peale said, "The trouble with most of us is that we'd rather be ruined by praise than saved by criticism." Sometimes, an enemy's criticism is more helpful than a best friend's compliment. Keep that in mind when criticism gets under your skin. Why did it hurt you so badly? Could it be that it contained a grain of truth? If so, stop. Discard the irrelevant parts. Focus on the grain of truth and grow from there. Each of us can use a bit of improvement. Years from now, when you run into the critic, you may just want to thank him or her for propelling you to greater success. To the point, is criticism right or wrong? Well, it depends. To be specific, it depends on the spirit in which it is given and the spirit in which it is received. Both giving and receiving criticism require some wisdom. Do you resent a particular criticism because it has no merit, or because you didn't feel that you could develop any further? I highly recommend that you carefully analyze the motives, the critic's motives and your own. This much for today. Follow the Holistic Church, familiarize yourself with its values, and learn how to develop and use your personal power for yourself, impact, and relevance. Before I go, remember, you are the now and forever. You are complete. You are great just the way you are. You are the kingdom within. You are the creator of your life. You impact other people. You impact the world and the ecosystem. Take good care of yourself. You are powerful. Believe in yourself. Until next week, use your power for good.